Hi everyone, Monique here with Little Gems Creations 1. Today we are going to be doing a small size dog hoodie or a large size cat hoodie. And I have a horrible cold, so I'm going to try not to cough through the whole video. We're going to start that in just a moment. Hi everyone, Monique here with Little Gems Creations 1. Today we are going to be making a small size dog hoodie or a large cat hoodie. They fit cats or dogs. You are going to need a 5mm crochet hook. This is also a US H hook. Okay. You're going to need a pair of scissors. You're going to need yarn. Now I'm using two colors. I'm going to use my trim as one color, and I'm going to use the body of the sweater as another color. Today I'm using Village Yarn worsted weight. It is 100% acrylic. It's a medium weight 4-ply yarn. Yeah. And it suggests using an H hook, which is what I'm using. So, let's get started. We're going to start with our trim color, which is also a 4-ply worsted weight yarn. I just don't have the label anymore. And we're going to start by doing what's called the ribbing. Okay? So you want a bit of a long tail because you're going to use it to sew afterwards. Okay, so I don't know, leave about 8 inches. Then cross your yarn. And we're going to do a chain of 10. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. Then we're going to do one extra chain to get us up. Then we're going to do single crochets. So in your second chain from hook, yarn through, yarn over, pull through both loops. That's a single crochet. And we're doing this for a total of 10 stitches. And that single chain doesn't count as a stitch. Only the single crochets count. Okay. So we are going to do these 10. And when I get to the end, I usually catch my tail so that it's just got that extra bit of security. Okay. Once you're at the end of the row, you're going to chain up 1. Now, we're going in the back loops only. So normally you go like this, but now we're just going like this, and we're going to do single crochets across, which will form a rib. Okay, a little ridge or rib, whichever you want to call it. Now, see what's happening here? It's got a little ridge. So we're going to do this back and forth on these 10 stitches, and make sure you always have 10 stitches for 70 rows. 70 rows. Okay. And then we'll meet back. So remember, when you get to the end, you chain up 1, turn your work, and back loops only. Okay. So do this for 70 rows and then meet me back. Okay, so now I've done my 70 rows. I'm going to fold my work, and taking my working yarn, I'm going to slip stitch into that first row. Okay. Then I'm going to take my different color, see, and this is why I never have labels on my yarn, because I pop off the label and use it, and I don't use the whole thing, and blah, 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 blah. Okay. Where's the end? There it is. Okay, so we're going to attach this, and we're going to chain up 2. Now we're doing half double crochets. Okay, so yarn over into the row somewhere. Yarn through, yarn over, go through all 3 loops. We are only counting the stitches. We are not counting the chain up 2. We want to do 70 stitches. So you should get 1 stitch in each row that we did. Okay? So 70 stitches all the way around. And we are going to do 8 rows. So this will count as row 1. We're just going to go all the way around. Okay. When you get back to this side, you are going to go into that second chain with a slip stitch. Sorry about the coughing. You're going to go into that second chain with a slip stitch. You're going to chain up 2. Then you're going to do, in this stitch, you're going to do your half double crochet. Like I said, we are doing 8 rows. So in your first one, you're going to go in the chain. In the next one, though, you're going to do your slip stitch into that stitch. And the reason I do this is it prevents my stitches from kind of going sideways. Now, if that doesn't happen to you, then you don't have to do this. But it happens to me all the time, so. And at the back here, you now can cut your other color. And you can tie a little knot if you want. Don't distort your stitches though, so you don't want to pull the knot too tight. Okay, so 8 rows round and around. First you're connecting into the chain, then you're connecting into the stitch, then the next row the chain, the next row the stitch, and come back when you've done 8 rows, okay? Okay, so I did my 8 rows, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and it was chain stitch, chain stitch, chain stitch, chain stitch. So I'll go into that stitch to do my slip stitch, chain up 2. Now I am going to do 40 half double crochets, and the chain 2 does not count as a stitch. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. If you haven't had a chance yet, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So you're gonna pick up 40. So pick up 40 and meet me back. I did my 40 stitches. I've picked up. See? So now I'm gonna chain up 2. And I'm just going to go back on and forth on these 40 stitches for a total of 8 rows, okay? And don't count the chain 2 as a stitch. So 40 stitches back and forth for 8 rows, and counting that first row we just did. Okay, do that, meet me back. Okay, so I've done my 8 rows. See, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so now I'm making my loop big. I'm cutting a bit of a tail. Now, I am not pulling this tight. Do not pull this tight. I'm just pulling it too. Okay, because we're going to pick that out later. So only pull it too. Sorry. Cough in your ear. Okay, now to do the chest part, we are going to go back over here, take our yarn, pull through, chain up 2. Now we are going to pick up 30 half double crochets. Do not count the chain as a double or as a half double crochet, okay? It is not counted as a stitch. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, pick up 30 and meet me back. Okay, so I've done my 30. Now I'm going to chain up 2. Now, this is the chest part of the dog sweater or cat sweater. So I'm going to show you how I decrease. We're going to decrease at each end by 1 stitch. So each row is going to be decreased 2. Now, we do this so it doesn't all bunch up where the cat or dog puts their, has their chest area. So, yarn over into the stitch, pull your yarn through, yarn over again into the next stitch, pull your yarn through. You have 5 loops. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to yarn over and go through all 5 loops. That turned 2 stitches into 1, okay? So we picked up 30 stitches, so this row is going to end up with 28 stitches. So I count across the row now to 27. Once I get to 27, I know I have 2 stitches I have to work together just like I did here. So we're going down to 16 stitches. So do this back and forth, decreasing at each end until you're at 16 stitches. Do that and meet me back. Okay, so I did my decreases down to 16. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going over to the other side here. And on my chain up 2, I'm going into that second chain. Okay. And then I'm going to slip stitch into that second chain, and then I'm going to chain up 2 and make my loop big. Now, remember where I said don't pull it tight? We're going back there, we're pulling our tail out, and we're making that loop big. We're going to do the same thing over here. In the chain 2, we're going to go into that second chain. Okay. And we're going to slip stitch. And this time we're going to pull our tail through, and we are pulling it tight. And what we've done there is we've just made the little sockets for the arms or for the legs to go through. Now, we have 40 and 16, so 56 stitches. We're going to go round and round those 56 stitches, half double crochet, and we're going to do that for 4 rows, okay? So, just like we did in the beginning, first row you'll go in the chain, second row you'll go in the stitch, third row you'll go in the chain, fourth row you'll go in the stitch. So do that. Make sure you have 56 stitches. Sometimes when you're coming to the joins, it's easy to add a stitch mistakenly. So count your stitches. 56 stitches, 4 rows, round and round. Meet me back. Okay, so I did my 4 rows. 1, 2, 3, 4. And now I'm going to slip stitch into that chain 2. Or maybe it should have been the stitch. Oh well, I'm doing it into the chain 2. I'm going to cut a tail, and then I'm going to pull tight. Pardon me, I'm sorry. So now, this is the chest part of our sweater, okay? So taking your other color yarn, we are going to count 8 from each side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. So, and what we're doing is we're dividing it up to start our hoodie, okay? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then 8 this way. So, starting here, I am going to chain 2, and in that same stitch, I'm going to do a half double crochet. Do not count your chain 2 as a stitch, and go around until you get to the other side, but we are not connecting them, okay? So you should have 56 stitches, and then I want you to meet me back. Okay, so I got my 56 stitches. Okay, so now I'm going to chain up 2. Now, just like we did for the chest, we're going to decrease 1 stitch on each side, okay? So let me show you again. So we chained up 2. Yarn over into the stitch, pull your yarn through. Yarn over into the next stitch, pull your yarn through. 5 loops. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 loops. Yarn over and go through all 5 loops. That turned 2 stitches into 1. Okay, so we had 56. At the end of this row, you'll have 54. And then your next row, you'll be down to 52. Sorry. And then counting these rows, we're going to do even your decrease rows, so your foundation and your decrease rows, we're going to do a total of 10 rows. But you're only decreasing for 2 rows. So foundation row, which was 56. This will be 54. Next row will be 52. And then continue with 52 stitches till you have a total of 10 rows. And then meet me back. Okay, so I've done my 10 rows. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now, I have had some subscribers asking me to make a small dog hoodie with slits for ears. Now, I don't do this. I live in a cold climate, and I want my little dog ears or cat ears within the hood because you can get frostbite on the tips of the ears, and I don't make them like that for that reason. But I'm going to stop here and show you how you would do it. And then I'm going to take it out because I don't want to make a dog sweater like that. So you chain up 2. We're going to half double crochet in 10. 1, 2, 3, 4. And the other thing is 5. Dogs' ears are on different places on their heads. So if you're making this for a Scotty dog, a Scottish Terrier, or you're making it for a Basset Hound, they're going to have their ears in different places. Pardon me. So I'm going to show you how to put the placement, but you may have to adjust it. You may have to go up a row, down a row. you're going to have to test it on your dog, okay? So we're going to do 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. So that's where I'm at. Now I'm going to chain 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm going to skip 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then in the next one, I'm going to do a half double crochet, and there. That's your opening. So then you would continue before you got to the last 20 stitches on the other side. So let's see. We started with 56, we took off 54, 52. So this is 20. So that means you would do 12 half double crochets. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And if I've done my math correctly, we should be able to do chain 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Skip 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then do, and then do 10 half double crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Yay, I did it right. Okay, 10, chain 10, skip 10, 12, chain 10, skip 10, and then 10, okay? So then that would give you your slots for your ears. So this would count as row 11. You want to do a total of 15 rows. So this would be 11, and then 12, 13, 14, 15, okay? I'm going to go back and take this out because I don't want to do this. If you live in a climate, like I said, where this is more of a fashion statement and it's all cute, that's wonderful. But like I said, most of the people that I make sweaters for is because they're in cold climates and we don't want little fluffies' ears to get frostbite. So we keep them tucked in the hood. So I'm going to take this out. But the main thing is, from start to finish, you're going to have 15 rows on the hoodie part, okay? So do the 15 rows and then meet me back. Okay, so I've got my 15 rows. So now what you're going to want to do is you want to leave a really long tail because you're going to use it to sew up your hood. Okay, so I left about 12 inches. I'm going to put that tail through my loop and pull tight. Okay. Sorry. Now, I have lost my favorite darning needles. So I have this curved thing. I think you're supposed to use it for leather working. I'm going to turn the cat sweater or dog sweater inside out. Okay. Now, back at the beginning with our ribbing, we have our tail that we left. I'm going to thread it, and I'm going to close this opening. What I'm going to do is called a whip stitch. So you just go in one side and out the other. And I always put a couple of stitches to start. Okay. And then I'm just going to work up this side. There we go. And you see how I'm just catching kind of a loop from each stitch. And I'm just going to go up the side here. And you're going to want to hide all your threads or all your yarn. And then you have to make a big decision now. Are you going to do a tassel, or are you going to do a pom-pom for the hood, or are you just going to leave it blank? I like tassels. So I do have a video on how to make a tassel, but I'll just show you quick when I whip one up for this. Okay, so now see how I'm to the other side where I tied off? I'm just going to tie these two together, giving it an extra anchor. But you never cut where you notch, right? I say this in all my videos. So I'm just going to go and picking up the very edge of the stitches. I'm going to pick up a few more stitches, and I always go a little bit further back from where I started and go past it. Okay. And then do that again. A little bit back and then go past. So that's how we sew up the ribbing. Okay, and then I'll snip that yarn. You go ahead and hide your other threads, and then we'll go over here to the hood now. The other threads you just hide like normal. For the hood, again, thread your needle. Okay, so we're gonna put these together. Now, I'm just gonna go through as if I was crocheting, okay? So I'm going through the whole stitch. Okay, and again, I'm doing my whip stitch from one side to the other. I always go double for that first stitch just because it's the one that'll get the most pulling. Okay. Sorry about that. My phone that I do my recording with just died for a minute there. So, yes, whip stitch this all the way to the back, but don't cut your yarn. So, I'll see if I can get through this before I have to charge my phone. Whip stitch across, going through the stitches just like you were crocheting them. I hope I'm in frame. I'm working around a camera, so it makes it extra challenging. Okay, and then I will charge my phone, come back, and show you how to make that tassel. Okie dokie. Or if you want to do a pom-pom, I also have a video on how to make a pom-pom. Whatever you prefer. Or you could get one of those fancy fuzzy wuzzy pom-poms and use it. That would look cute too. You know, whatever floats your boat. Make sure your creativity is showing through. Okay, so do this to the end and then meet me back. Okay, so I got all my threads hidden and I got my hood sewn together, but I did leave that long tail. Okay, so now I'm gonna make the tassel. So here's how I make my tassel. I have a piece of cardboard I cut ages ago. See, an old cereal top or something. It measures about 4 3/4 inches. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take both yarns. Oh my goodness, it's cold. Okay, so I'm gonna take both yarns and I'm gonna start winding them. I'm gonna wind them, let's go 15 times. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Oh, of course we had to get a tangle. 14, 15. Oh, come on. There we go. 15, okay? I'm going to snip at the bottom. Okay. Then I'm going to take one of the yarns and put that down. I'm going to take one of the yarns, say taking about 6 or 8 inches and cutting it. Now, I'm taking these and I'm going to the bottom and I'm just cutting through them, okay? Okay. Now, I'm taking this and placing it over top of here. Nope, I did that wrong. I'm taking this and I'm putting it around the middle. And tying that tight. Okay. There, tied that tight. Now I'll take another 6-inch. Okay. And I will lay it down and I put this on top. And now I'm going to tie this around. Okay. I'm going to go around to the other side. And I'm going to tie it tight. Double knot it, even triple knot it. Okay. And then these two, I'm going to snip close. Okay. Now, I'm going to straighten this out. And I'm just going to give it a trim. I want all those to be about the same length, right? There we go. So there's my tassel. Okay, so now I'll put these things away. I'm going to take my hoodie and I'm going to go right into this corner with my crochet hook. Okay, I'm going to catch one of these ties and pull through. Can you see here? I pulled it through. Okay, and then on the other side, other tie. Okay, and pull it through. So here we go now. See what I've got? I've got the 2 from the tassel, which I'm going to knot tight, and the 1 from the hood, which I'm going to knot with the tassels, ties. There we go. And then I'm going to cut all those short. And there we go. We have our hoodie with the tassel. Isn't that cute? I like how it turned out. Hope you can see it there. Maybe I need to back up a bit. There you go. Anyway, and that's it. That's how you make the small size hooded sweater for a dog, or the large size hooded sweater for a cat. Thanks so much for watching. Hit the like and subscribe. If you want notifications of when I do my videos, hit the bell. It doesn't always work though, so watch on Thursdays. I usually do new tutorials every Thursday. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. Bye now.